Hello everyone and welcome back to True Crime Phenomenon. This is Josh coming back to you with another video. Now this video is around Jeremy Dewitte's lie detector test from the Dr. Phil show, as well as the subsequent tests that he took on his own, because his experts are clearly better than Dr. Phil's because he's a wealthy man, he can afford it. Outside of those legal fees, right? So we get a bunch of excuses about why he failed the test and so on and so forth. You know how Jeremy is, he's got an excuse for everything. So I've taken a bunch of clips. I'll be linking down in the description all the videos I use for the different clips. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Please like, share, comment. Most importantly, please subscribe to the channel. We got a bunch more content coming. Thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. I appreciate all the support that's coming. Hopefully you guys like the shorts. I'm just trying to drive more traffic to the channel that way. And I'll be sprinkling in some other content outside of just Jeremy Dewitte. I've always done it and I'll continue to do that. But I got a lot more to cover with Jeremy Dewitte. I've got 3 more parts to his bond hearing coming out with his commentary and stuff, and splicing in some different material with that. So here are the clips with Jeremy all over that lie detector test like it was some halal bacon. In case you missed it, here's the clips.
So my name's Jeremy Dewitte. I am asking to come on the Dr. Phil show because I believe that the Dr. Phil show will show the harassment that we continue to go through. It will also show the uniforms and equipment such as this that we use and are being constantly still harassed to this day, even after multiple situations that have happened over the years and the corrections that have been made by upper staff. I believe that the Dr. Phil show has it in their best interest to help me and is trying to show that Metro State is not really doing anything wrong other than funeral escorts like the rest of the funeral escort companies throughout the United States. I hope this is what you were asking for. If not, I'll redo it. Thank you.
And it's because, you'll see in a second, what I'm going to try to do is have you to where your arm is kind of resting, like how you have that arm resting on the table.
Okay. You got that on video, right? He touched my breast.
Regarding the allegations against you, do you intend to answer each question truthfully?
Yes.
Are you convinced that I will not ask you a surprise question on this test?
Yes.
Have you ever lied to loved ones?
No.
Have you ever knowingly misused your given funeral escort rights to appear as someone empowered by law enforcement? Have you ever lied about your finances?
No.
During the course of your duties, have you knowingly used authority exclusively given to law enforcement officers?
No.
Are you afraid that I'll ask a question on the test that we have not talked about?
No.
Are you in Florida?
Yes.
Have you ever lied to make yourself look better?
No.
Have you falsely presented yourself to a citizen as someone empowered by law enforcement?
No.
Please remain still while I take the instrument out of operation. This portion of the test is over.
This guy's terrific, right?
Yes, yes, he's actually very professional.
Okay, so you have no problems with him as an examiner, or the test?
No, sir.
It all went professional and
Yeah, he was
everything, so
Very sharp.
good, bad, or indifferent, you have no issues
Not at all.
with it whatsoever. Gil, when it comes to polygraph exams, you're also a countermeasures expert. Explain what countermeasures are.
Countermeasures are behaviors that you can do during specific questions on the exam to enhance physiology on those areas and appear as a truthful individual. That's why we have activity sensors on the floor for your feet, activity sensors on the chair for core movements, and the rubber tubes that go over your chest and your stomach do record upper body movements, upper body activities. So if you were to try to manipulate any of those, we actually have the sensors that tell us this data is true, this data is not true.
Did that play into the test yesterday?
Yes, it did.
But ultimately, with your expertise and the screening devices, were you able to get a clean test?
I did.
Okay. Well, let's look at the results. Question number one, have you knowingly misused your given funeral escort rights to appear as someone empowered by law enforcement? And your answer was?
No.
Two, have you falsely presented yourself to a citizen as someone empowered by law enforcement? And your answer was?
No.
Three, during the course of your duties, have you knowingly used authority exclusively given to law enforcement officers? And your answer was?
No.
No. So you answered no to all three questions.
Yes,
and what was the result?
It is my opinion that Mr. Dewitte was being deceptive to the target questions.
Okay, and what numerically, what would he have to have scored to have come out deceptive?
This methodology calls for a -3 or less in order to be in the deceptive range. Mr. Dewitte scored at a -37.
So this was not a close call.
This was not a close call.
at no time was I lying. I know that I was very nervous. I know that this is my life that we're fighting for, but I can't answer that. I know I wasn't lying. I'm not being deceptive. I understand what he's saying about the way I was, my posture and the way I was reacting is what the deception is from, but I'm not being deceptive.
Well, you asked for the test.
Yeah.
And I brought you the best.
Yes.
And you agreed that he's the best.
Very good.
I think you expected to have a different result on the polygraph.
Yes, sir.
I don't think you're seeing this situation clearly. I don't think you have real insight into this situation and circumstance. And I think you're putting yourself in a difficult situation by the way you're presenting yourself, by the relationship that you have that's adversarial with law enforcement, and I think it's been going on for a long, long time because I think you've got a chip on your shoulder. Right this very minute, if you could see yourself through my eyes,
Sure.
you would feel a whole lot better about yourself.
I appreciate that.
And you've got to make the decision at some point that you're okay. I hate to see you blow your life up, blow your business up, blow your family livelihood up because you're playing into this not being enough. You know, you are enough. I mean, you got a beautiful family.
I had nothing to do with those questions. I don't know if you will know this, but I went because I was devastated. I was very angry about the results from the Dr. Phil show. I knew I wasn't lying. I haven't lied about what's going on, and so I here in Florida, I found a polygrapher that is actually still currently with the sheriff's office and is a well-known polygrapher here in Florida. And I met with him and I showed him the questions, and he said the questions were worded to where no matter how you kind of answered, it would be bad. However, I passed his polygraph. He gave me the polygraph. I passed it with flying colors here in Florida when I was able to not be so stressed out. And what's up, guys? I'm just hitting you up after my poly. Didn't want to get into it too much before I went in. Didn't want to get my blood pressure up and stuff. But I don't know about you, but I mean, I can see my face and I know what time it is. So, but we're going to get it on the internet so you guys can see it on YouTube. But I passed that shit. Hook, line, and sinker, flying colors, whatever you want to call it. Easy, not a problem. And we even have some audio that we're going to get up. Not too much because we don't want to put this guy on Front Street because all you fucking piece of shit trolls. But man, he even said that, you know, flying into another state, doing all the videotaping before and stuff, you shouldn't have been doing the polygraph for at least a week, on and on. Plus, they worded, and I'm going to say it because you won't see this until probably after Dr. Phil, but they worded it as deception. But deception and inconclusive for polygraph examiners is the exact same definition.
So that's going to wrap it up for our Jeremy Dewitte lie detector test video. Please like, share, comment, and most importantly, please subscribe. What do you think down in the comments below? Let me know. Do you think Jeremy was telling the truth, or do you think he was lying? I'm pretty sure I know what you're thinking.